Greetings. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. Decide we do a live stream for everybody this weekend, so we're going to hang out for a little bit, do a little Q&A, chew the fat, as they say, and then we'll get back to the rest of our weekend. So I did a Tube of Terror a couple hours ago. How long ago was it? About 4 hours ago. It gave me tremendous discomfort for about an hour. I'm still feeling it, actually. But that's what happens at the beginning of pepper season. Your tolerances are down. So who's here? We got a few people. Let me know who's with us. Clayton Collins. There you go. Good to see you. Soulsbane. Good to see you. Dizzy Dragon. Balaki. Good to see all of you. I was talking about you the other day, Dizzy. That guy, the man, the myth, and you spelled chili head wrong. But thank you. Thank you for being here. Robert Springs, good to see you. I'm good. My neck is a whole lot better. Those of you guys don't realize, I hurt myself. I was working out the other day on a machine, on an ab machine, and it's one of the things where you have your hands here and you kind of do one of these numbers, and you're using your arms as well as your abs to do the crunch. And I don't know what I was thinking. While I was doing it, I I wonder how much of this is my arms versus how much of this is my abs. So I kept hanging on, but I let up and just tried to do the crunch with my stomach. And in the process, I leaned forward with my head and everything pulled on the back of my neck. It was just terrible. The first 2 days after it happened, sleep was just not going to happen. No matter where I moved, it hurt. But last night, I was finally able to sleep a little bit. Adam, good to see you. The Grumpy Girl, thank you for being here. Calfee, 09, good to see you. Mr. Heat Seeker, Andrew Voigt, good to see you. Thanks for being here. From NZ, I'm here for the issues. Man, I am too. P. Henris, good to see you. Great video with classic firearms. Man, that was so much fun. Wait till you see the next video that they're coming out with. The one I showed you just recently, the one I uploaded, was from our first visit. The second visit, we do a podcast. Me and Foy talk with them for about an hour, maybe two. It was a fun podcast. And then we left and we went to the gun range, and they said, this is a collab. We're going to find the 5 spiciest guns. And the spiciest was a Barrett 50 caliber. 50 caliber. I swear to you, the shell is that long. The bullet, they're $10 a whack. But it was funny because we were shooting all these guns, and I grew up with them. I think it's important to know safety, and I kind of grew up with them, so it was something I'm very accustomed to. But I never fired a 50 cal. And the 50 cal had these little arms you pull down, so it had a little tripod, and it's Barrett. I mean, it's a huge weapon, And I thought we were going to be at a bench, firing downrange. So right at the end, he says, it was the last gun. And Kaya was there. I said, all right, so we're going to sit here. He goes, no, we're going to walk up. I said, he goes, oh, yeah, we're firing this standing from the shoulder. And I was like, okay, I wasn't going to be the one that says no, you know what I mean? I wasn't going to say, it's kind of a lot for me. I don't think I want to do that. I wasn't going to say that. Heard you. Good to see you. I'm feeling much better. Andy Paul, good to see you. Silver Surfer, man. Tracy, hello, bro. Corbin, what's going on, dude? So Kaya went first, and he's former he was FBI, man. He's like special forces, dude. So he just held the thing up, and he's just 3 inches taller than I am, and you had to hold it so far. Then what happened was it needed to be that much shorter, because to get it to my shoulder, it was so far ahead of me. But I fired it twice, and it was frightening, really loud, and really the kick on it was unique. I fired a lot of weapons in my time, but nothing like that. But probably the coolest of all was the flamethrower. Do you know that if you go to Classic Firearms, they have the flamethrowers? They have them. They're $300. $300. I'm going to buy one. You know why? Because I need a flamethrower. I think everybody needs a flamethrower. It's a perfect way to start a bonfire or a cookout or just at a party that people say, what in the world is that? Oh, it's my flamethrower. Don't tell me you don't have a flamethrower. That's why I need to get one. So I'm going to get one. Arabian Bard, good to see you. Surprised you didn't dislocate your shoulder. You know what? Here's the thing, Tracy. It's such a heavy weapon that a lot of the recoil is just, is eaten up just because of the weight of it. I mean, the lighter the weapon, the more the recoil. But Soul's Bane, Blade Show, got some great OTS from Guardian Tactical. I'm kind of a Microtech guy, but Michael Day, good afternoon, sir. I have a question. Let me read it. Yes, you can rehydrate peppers. It still has great flavor, and the heat does not change. The only thing that's going to change, Michael, is the texture is going to become disgusting. Just being honest with you. If you're cooking, it's perfect. If you're just going to eat it because you like peppers, the flavor won't change, neither will the heat. But boy, that is a vile texture. Just being honest with you. I'll be eating my whole first habanero today from the garden. Thanks, Johnny, for everything. Thank you for everything, Grumpy Gill. I didn't do anything. I'm just eating peppers. You're taking time out of your weekend to hang with me. Thank you. I have just 2 baby chocolate primatale plants that just broke out of the soil. Well, how exciting is that, Dizzy Dragon? I'm more excited about the other weird projects that you're working on because you're a thinker. That's a fact. Hope everybody's well, says Jen Marie. Good to see you. Looking beautiful with that gorgeous wrench. Blessed to Crochet. Good to see you. I don't have a flamethrower. I know, right? Oh, it was so much fun. It was kind of weird. I'm like, what do you put in it? It's like kerosene. He goes, no, gas. I'm like, you just put gas in that thing and light it on. I mean, it just seems sketchy, man. It's just, when they were loading it up, I'm like staying far off. And they're like, come pull the trigger on this thing. I'm like, all right. If you didn't see, there's a Caleb, hello. There's and Roscoe, good to see you. There's a very cool short I made of me and Matt. Matt's laying down in front, and there's a 50 caliber barrel on the ground, and I'm staying behind him with a flamethrower. I'm like flowing flame everywhere while he's firing a 50 cal down range. It's a very cool video. I still have one chip challenge, thinking about eating it. Justin Hodson Pillar. Let me tell you something. It's going to taste nasty. They all taste nasty. Let's just call it what it is. I tell you what, David Foy's got, I bet he has close to 15 or 20 of them. I think he had 10. He has 2 boxes. And I think there was 10 in each, and I ended up taking 2 of them. So I think he's got like 18. They're the black one, and it tastes nasty. It's awful. Danny, good to see you. Unpredictable Tony, no way. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I actually have a picture of the project I told you about. I have some green pods developing right now. Send them. I won't forward them to anybody, I promise. If you knew how many secrets I harbor right now, for instance, I've never told you about Tom Broom. No, I'm kidding. I would never tell a secret, but I know where all the bodies are buried. Not even joking. It's really cool that growers tell me their secrets. Every single grower's got something they do that nobody else does that they think gives them the edge. Most of it makes me snicker. I'm like, really? You think that gives you the edge? What's my favorite hot food, Roscoe? Well, you know what? I don't really know, man. Here's the thing. I was thinking about this the other day. Someone said, what's my favorite stuff to chasetheheat@gmail.com, Dizzy. I don't cook. I don't cook ever. I'm not a cook. I don't cook. When I was living with my son, I cook once in a while. When you live alone, cooking's a drag. So even if I did cook all the time, I don't really like. It's going to sound really weird. I don't think about using peppers in the food I eat. Now, during pod season, I'm always eating peppers. So at dinner time, if I'm eating a burger, I'm going to have 3 or 4 peppers, like super hots, and just munch it while I eat dinner. So I always have hot stuff while I eat, but I rarely cook with it. Isn't that weird? It's kind of strange. So as far as my favorite hot food, just peppers. I'm a pepper freak. It's the one that turns your mouth blue. They all taste vile, I think. I really do. I think they taste terrible, Justin. Let me know what you think of it. Tracy, you would have loved being there. It was so much fun. Man, I was there with Foy. We were on the range for like 6 hours, and I swear to you, I felt like a kid. It was insane. Krista Melenda, one of my favorite people. Good to see you, girl. I sent Krista Melenda the hot pepper bacon jam to try. That stuff is so good. It's ridiculous. Rick Spicer, good to see you. Heard ya. I know. I've grown too many peppers. Can I freeze them? And how long will they stay good in the freezer? You can absolutely freeze them. They'll stay a long time. You'll give up on those peppers before the peppers give up on you. They're fine for cooking and they're fine for eating. They're just going to taste. The texture is going to be vile. It just is. That's what I found anyway. It's my personal take. Caleb, good to see you. That's Caleb Drake, people. His name is Caleb. Let's get you hooked up with Gun Drummer. Sounds like a good time. I don't know what Gun Drummer is, but I'm interested. Pickles says his plants are getting big now. That's a good thing. Hello from Chicago, Miguel Torres. You probably know this because you've been around forever, but I used to live in Rockford. I had a lot of fun in Rockford. Got fired from a job in Rockford, one of the only jobs I've ever been fired for in my life. I don't think I've ever told that story, and I don't think now's the time. But I did. I got fired from a job. It was terrible. Jen's just working with one good thumb. You're nailing it, girl. Interesting thought, blessed to crochet. My favorite are these right here. Oh, crap. My favorite Pro Puffs are these. These are the Mocha Espresso. And goodness gracious, do they taste good. They're wicked yummy. And they're my favorite for breakfast. Throw a little milk on them. Forget about it. There's no cereal made that's that good. And it's good for you, which is crazy. Clues, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Kai Palk, thank you for being here. Watching for a long time. Love your stuff. Thank you. I appreciate you watching. Excuse me. Hot Ones ever reach out to you for a podcast? No, and they won't. And you know what? I wouldn't be on Hot Ones now. I'm not judging them. It's just not a show I would be on at this point. Loving those guitar riffs you're laying down on shorts. Roscoe says, thank you. Appreciate it. You know why I'm doing that? It's really funny. One of the reasons I'm doing that, and I'm not kidding, I don't read or write music. So I'll get a little riff that I like, and I won't ever remember it. So I'll just make a short. So I'll just go back and look at shorts and see something I've written in the past. And I'm like, I need to work on that one. And I'll go back and start reworking it. So I do that really. It's just, if nothing else, it's a place for me to store stuff so I don't forget it. That's the truth. I'm munching my way through the apple pie puffs, Arabian Bard. They're delicious, man. I love those. B. Hendricks, I showed up late one time and my supervisor was standing next to the other supervisor and the owner. Being late's a drag. Audrey, there she is. Hi, Johnny. Just finished making my batch of hot sauce now. How funny is that? It's beautiful. Josh Collins, happy Father's Day, Senor Scoville. It's like a week away, isn't it? Thank you. I have a tough time on Father's Day. It's a tough holiday for me. It really is. My dad was like the gold standard for dads. I'm writing a lot about him right now because I'm writing a book. And you know what was weird about my dad? He would like little stuff, like I'll catch like the red, you're going through a light and it turns yellow on you and you got to stop. He would snap when things like that would happen, for real. But anytime really bad crap would happen, like heavy duty stuff. And you have to understand something. Tommy and I, as your children, can you imagine some of the heavy stuff that came their way? When the big stuff happened, my dad was Mr. Wolf from Pulp Fiction. I kid you not. He'd be like, all right, we're going to fix this. I mean, he was just, when crap was hitting the fan, he had this incredible, cool, solution-based approach to problems. And I kind of, Tommy and I are like that. I swear, little stuff, he'll snap. I'm not good, but big stuff, I'm like, there's no point in snapping with heavy stuff. So when Father's Day happens now, I know I'm not even close to the father my dad was. And the problem is I burned like 3 decades being a jerk. You know what I mean? And so I like Tommy and I are both playing like a pretty aggressive game of catch-up ball right now. It's like full court press. We're trying to make up for a lot of crap we've done. And no matter what I do, I'm never going to be able to, I'll never undo the bad things I've done, and I'm never going to even come close to what my dad was. He cast a long shadow and was a good man. And Father's Day is just like that mirror holding it up in front of me all day long, saying, "You're nowhere near like your old man." But it is what it is, you know. Certainly a motivation to try to be a better person. I see this. I see the same calmness when you eat crazy peppers. I get in the zone when I eat that. For some reason, that like the first pepper always makes me nervous. Like in a challenge, the first one or a contest, and then after the burn starts, I'm like, okay, my happy place. It's weird. You can always make up for it, brother. It's all about what you do. Here's the thing: why that's true to a degree. You can always make up for what you've done in the past. Like I'm a believer. I don't care if you guys don't what you believe. I'll never look down my nose at you. So please don't look down your nose at me for what I believe. But I'm a believer, and like the God that I serve is really cool about forgiving me and wiping the slate clean. But you guys, I don't know if you guys have that in you. You're gonna if when this book comes out, you're gonna read stuff about me and about Tommy that are just horrific. And there are going to be those of you that I know that you say, it's not what you were, it's what you are now. And I know that you guys say that. But you're going to read some stuff that's going to make you go, wow. You know? But I'm writing it because I believe it'll be helpful from it. You know what I mean? Corbin didn't have a dad. You know what? You're a stellar man, though. I know several guys in my life who didn't have a father in their life, yet somehow they've just become the most stellar stand-up examples of a man and a father, despite the fact that they didn't have one as a model. I think you're one of those, dude. That's the reason the windshield is bigger in front. That's a fact, Josh. Johnny, is your new tattoo a Primatali or a Bula? This is actually not a new one. That's an old one. I just found the old video. And the funny thing is, it's scarred up. I got into a car accident and the airbag came out and blistered my arm. Looked like my arm was going to fall off for a while, but it scarred up that. So this is actually an old pepper. And it was a purple tiger, I think. A guy named Donnie grew it, and it was a cover-up. It's the last time I'm going to put a woman's name on my wrist. It's underneath there, but it's covered up now. The first pepper's the scariest part because once you start in for the long run, yeah, it's like the first step of a marathon. When you run a marathon, that first step is horrific. That's the starter's gun goes off, and the first step is terrifying. I mean, we're like literally frightening because there's 26.2 miles in front of you that you're just starting and you can't stop. It's a very similar feeling mentally. If one is new to peppers, how slow should they go to almost totally avoid cramps or close to it? I'm thinking about going Hobbs to Ghost. How slow? You can go Hobbs to Ghost, Grumpy Gill, but don't go to a whole pod. If you do that, you can do that. And it's like, you're not sticking your toe in the water, you're jumping into the deep end. But a great way to do it is if you're going from Hobbs to Ghost, which is a lot of people do that because that's what's readily available in grocery stores in the U.S. When you go to make sure you can eat a whole. I think you said you're going to eat your first whole habanero today. Once you get to the point where you're comfortable eating a habanero, maybe get to the point where you can eat a couple habaneros. And at that point, go to Ghost. But like I said, you don't need to eat the whole thing. Just cut it in half and kind of do it that way. That way you're getting the feel for the heat, the flavor, and you aren't jumping into the whole commitment. Pink Tiger Cross. Thank you, Dizzy. Appreciate it. So I've come to a decision here. I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it with you. Was in Super Hot, the spicy world of pepper people. It's on Michael Day. Got a bus pass. How cool. Thank you. Anyway, it's on Hulu and Disney Plus right now. And it was very, very fun to be in. It was a really fun experience. I've been in a couple movies as an extra in my previous life before Peppers. So I've kind of been behind a camera before and been on movie sets and stuff. But this was really fun because I was like a pretty integral part of it all. And it was fun, but I made sort of a decision. If there is a season 2, I won't be in it. I'm not going to do a season 2. I don't really have an interest in doing that. It was a lot of fun, but I did it already. I don't need to do a season 2. I have some other projects I'm working on that I'll probably be doing, but if there is a season 2 for Super Hots, you won't be seeing me in it. Just thought I'd tell you guys that. It occurred to me the other day. Somebody was asking me, And I thought about it. I'm like, no, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Honestly, if you're talking completely preventing calf cramps, you're bound to get. Yeah, there's no way to. It's the bane of every chili head's existence. They are real. There's no way to really get around it. I'll tell you what, though, man. I was with Justin Rummel in the UK, and he's going on a belt match. He's there for a belt match. He's from New Zealand. I'm there with him in London, and he and I ate one pepper. It was a scorpion, and he got calf cramps, like really horrific calf cramps from one scorpion pepper. A Maruga scorpion. Chris Hislop grew it. And I remember he didn't know what was going on. He's like, he was freaking out. I'm like, dude, it's calf cramps, man. Relax. He was freaking out. I'm like, how'd you get to this stage of the game and not experience calf cramps for it? It's possible. It's a slow process. Make sure you always have food in your gut, and it's just a very slow process. Zippo Click, no offense to them, but I won't be watching them then. Listen, don't be like that. It's probably going to be a great show. Can I tell you something funny? And I hope I'm just being really honest. I only watched 3 or 4 episodes of the whole show. True story. I watched the first couple. I watched the last one. I saw enough. Dude, they called me the chili kingmaker. If they called me that once, it would have been too many times. They must have said it 10 times. And it got to the point where it was just absurd. So I didn't need to see the whole thing. Audrey, whenever I describe calf cramps to my friends, I scale on 1 to I'm severely constipated. It's brutal. It's definitely tough. They're real. I know you were kidding, Zippo Click. And listen, it was really fun. I had it was a wonderful experience. I'm glad I did it. There's no regrets. You know what I mean? It was a wonderful experience. But while I could be doing that, I got other things I'll be doing that I'm more excited about. So now, all that said, they may not even do a season 2. I don't even know. But if there is, you know where I stand. Here's the funny thing. Well, I'm not going to talk about it. I learned amazing tricks dealing with. With me personally, Jeff, I can mitigate the effects a little bit by being upright. Like if they're really bad and I lay down, they are worse. So the cramps are more severe if I'm laying down. Patience and distraction. Yeah, a distraction is a good thing. Considering how much money they made from the show, I wouldn't be surprised, says Audrey. Ready for the pegging session? You know what, Peggy? You are gone, my friend. Thank you for being here. And we won't be seeing you again. All right, last question in regards to eating hot peppers. Listen, Grumpy Gill, you can ask as many questions as you like. In regards to eating hot peppers, people have recommended a high fiber diet to preload your peppers like meat. I don't know. I've never really had a regimen where that thought out. Okay, as long as I have something in my stomach, I'm typically fine. When I was in New Zealand, Grumpy Gill, I was with a bunch of fellas before a big contest, and they had a routine that they did religiously. And what they did was they got a can of creamed corn, and they would eat the entire can of creamed corn. To me, that's not a good thing because it's just like soup in your stomach. I want some substance. But here's the truth of it. If I'm just doing a challenge like this morning, I ate something before I did the Tube of Terror. I had to have something in my gut. True story. I swear I'm telling you the truth. On a big challenge, like a contest, every single contest you've seen me against Shahina, the one in the TV show, the one in New Zealand, all the big contests I've been in, I have never once, not once, have I prepped for a contest like that because there's no room in my stomach if I eat something. Listen, during the contest for the Netflix, not the Hulu, but the Netflix special on Main Street down in Fort Mill in front of Ed Curry's place, about an hour before, I was sitting with Dustin Johnson, who won the contest, and they were all in a restaurant prepping, eating something because we're about to do a contest. He's eating a burger this big with a tray of fries, a big basket of fries. I had like 2 French fries and a Coke. I kid you not, that was what I prepped with. Because I said to him, dude, what are you doing? He said, I'm prepping. I'm like, you're gonna eat all that? You're gonna and then eat peppers? He goes, yeah. Like if I ate if I ate that burger and the fries, and he ate the whole burger and the whole fries. If I ate the burger and the whole fries, man, I would have eaten 2 peppers and I would have tapped out. There's no room. You know what I mean? So on a big contest, I don't do anything. There's no room for it. Watching you and UK Spice Queen go ahead was wild. Flash 26 says, thank you for being here, Flash 26. She's a beast. I tried to beat her here on the last one, like on the TV show. And I don't even know. I didn't really watch the whole thing. It's terrible to say, but I don't know how well they showed it. At round 7, I said I thought I had her, and everybody in the room thought I had her. And I said, you can quit. Everybody loses sometime. You can make this suffering stop right now. Tap out. And I knew that the only way I was going to win is if she tapped out. Because if she gets to the last round, I don't care how much pain she's in. She's faster eating 10 peppers than I am. I thought I had her. I was sure she was going to tap out. She didn't. I don't have an asbestos stomach, Roscoe. I know you think that. I really don't. The reason I don't prep in a big contest is that it just takes up space that I need peppers to fill, you know. I just received my ES Power yesterday. Can't wait to try it. You guys are going to love it. It's amazing. Sports drink with peppers. I love it. Dustin was a bigger guy and a competitive eater back then. He sure was. Star Wars Ladybug. Hey, Johnny, how is Mama Scoville and Tommy doing? And how is Squirrel? Everybody's fine. Squirrel misses me. I miss Squirrel. She really goes into a happy place and zones out, but you're doing a great. You know what's really funny? Thank you for saying that, Flash. I got a call from the producer. His name is Brian. He produced the whole thing. He calls me it was like a Friday night. He texts me and he goes, Scoville, what are you doing? He's never called me Johnny. He just calls me Scoville. I said, it's like midnight. He goes, you're up. What are you doing? I said, nothing. He goes, I'm calling you. He calls me on the phone. He goes, I got to ask you a question. Don't be offended. I said, ask. He goes, did you throw that match against Shahina? Did you let her win? I almost hung up on him, man. I'm like, no, I didn't, let her win. She's my friend and I love her. But if you don't think I want to stomp her to death in that contest, you're mistaken. He said, because you look stronger the entire way. And I did. I was like, she was suffering way worse than I was. She doesn't like peppers. I love peppers. So she was suffering worse than I was. But she's just, and I had to explain to him, dude, she's just faster, period. That's all there is to it. It's a bummer. But she's, the other weird thing about her is in every contest she's ever been in, there's one moment where she looks like, oh, this is it. She's going to lose, Grumpy Gill, anyone in the chat? Dumb question. I can't find a way to become a member of Chase Heat. Is there a link? There's not a link. If you're doing it from your phone, I believe it's difficult. I think if you go to a computer, all right, and go to the channel, Chase the Heat, you'll see a tab at the bottom left that says join. And if you click that, and there's like 120 plus videos and live streams almost every day. But that's where it's at. It's only $4.99 a month, and you can you're not locked in. You can stop anytime you want. But hopefully you'll keep going. Audrey, yesterday I caught myself cutting up a Reaper and putting it in my Popeye's chicken sandwich. Am I a chili head yet? You're damaged goods. You're just like me. You're broken just like I am. Yeah, you're a chili head. All right. Lisa White, we can all relax. She's here. Hi, Lisa. How's my neck and my upper back? Way better. I still can't put my head back very far, but still way better than it was. You sent me pics of the 2 peppers you're creating. Excellent, Dizzy. Thank you. On the bottom right on the phone, there's a dollar bill you can click and has the options. Well, look at that. Flash 26 with the answer. Thank you, Flash. Josh Collins has got to go, but my truck's on fire. That sucks. Keep the great work. Put the truck out. My truck's on fire. You think he means that? That's horrific. Put your truck out, dude. Don't write anymore. Wow. Now sign the NDA. Listen, I know all your secrets. I won't tell anybody, Dizzy. Haven't remember that thing you told me? I haven't told anybody about that. I'm good. I'm very good with secrets. I don't tell them. I know, like if you knew, like every Broom, Linda McNew, you know, uh, Randy Keaton. I know Pickles. I know so many people that have their secrets. It's mostly with growers. Seriously, like there's no pepper eater that's got a secret. You eat them or you don't. You know what I mean? But the growers all have some sort of secret. That's the secret thing. Well, here, you know what? Hang on a second. The Grumpy Gill, it worked. Thank you, Grumpy Gill, and thank you, Flash26. Now in the future, I'll know how to explain to people. Okay, let me go to the love your t-shirt. I love this shirt so much, man. I really do. Can I tell you something funny about this t-shirt? We trademarked it. So I own the rights. I own the name Capsaicingist. All right, so here's Dizzy's pictures. Wow, look at that. Oh, wow. There's one in that bottom picture, the second picture you sent, that one that's kind of in the middle, that phenotype is perfect. You probably put it there on purpose. Whew. Pretty. Very pretty. You know all the secrets. I know a lot. Jeff, you know a lot of my secrets. So here's the thing. The people that I try, my inner circle is small, you guys. I know a million people, but my inner circle is small. Like Jeff is one of the few people. Like when I tell you that there's probably 3 or 4 people that I talk to on the phone, other than Tommy, my immediate family, I'm being serious. There's like 3 or 4 people I ever talk to, and he's one of them. You and I have no secrets. I beg to differ, dude. I got some secrets about you, and you got some secrets about me. The thing is, I'll die with those secrets. I'll take those to my grave. The Italians have an expression. I used to know how to say it in Italian, but I forgot. And translate it means 2 people can keep a secret if one of those two people are dead. You get the idea that you can't tell somebody anything you don't want somebody else to know, not to know about. Have you thought of working with a grower to design your own pepper? You know, it's really funny you say that, Gray Gourmand. I know somebody who has a piping hot, ridiculous pepper that is tentatively thinking about getting out of the industry, transitioning into something else. And I was thinking about buying that pepper. It cost me a lot of money. Like not quite 6 figures, but pretty close. I was thinking about buying that for real. I have a place, I have a farm in a different country that I could grow it. And I've really entertained the thought of it, like not a joke. It's something I've been, in fact, in the last 2 months, I've talked about it at length with Foy. So it's something I've absolutely considered. But here's the problem. There are aspects of the chili world that I love, but there's aspects of the chili world that make me want to turn my back on it and walk away and find a different mountain to climb. And I'm not even fooling about that. Part of it is this. While I love certain aspects of the chili community, the nitpicking and the fighting and the sleaziness that unfortunately a lot of it exists. And listen, I'm not dumping on the industry, the chili world. There's not a world, the pepper world, the crocheting industry, the sports, and you name the industry, and there's people that are like that. But doing what I do, just doing this, I'm separate from all those idiots. And if I started growing peppers, I'd have to be in with those idiots. And I don't want to do that. I really don't. Money doesn't matter to me that much, you guys. Honest to God, it doesn't. If it was all about money, I'd be conducting myself a whole lot differently. But I don't really care that much about money. So I don't know. If money was everything, then I probably would already have my own personal pepper, like the Johnny Scola pepper. I tell you what I am going to do, and this is not a joke, and I'm not kidding, Corbin. We'll talk about it. Call me later. We'll talk about it. When I die, I'm going to have my list of my 20 favorite peppers, okay? And I'm hiring an attorney that specializes in travel, foreign travel, and passports and visas. And I'm going to buy my way into Australia. So within 6 months, I will be living in Australia. But when I die, Bree's much younger than I am. And when I die, I'm going to have my 20 favorite peppers already selected, and I'm going to be cremated. And Bree is going to grow some of my 20 favorite peppers, and part of the soil mixture is going to be my ashes. And that's going to be my retirement for my family. And she's going to be selling at that point. They're going to be called Johnny Scoville soul peppers. Like they'll be the jalapeno Johnny Scoville soul pepper grown in his ashes. And I'm not joking about that. I swear to Jesus, I'm serious as a heart attack when it comes to that. So that is something that's going to be happening. But I'll be dead. So it's almost a drag because it's a wicked cool idea. I'd almost like to be around to see it, but unfortunately I'll be dead. But that'll be a last cool gift to chili heads, soul peppers. So I'm kind of excited about that. Isn't that a good idea? I thought that was such a good idea, and I want everybody to know that was my idea. And the coolest thing is, let me tell you how great Bree is. Bree's a rock star. I said to Bree, I got a great idea. She goes, what? I know. I've been there. I love it. But I said to Bree, told her my idea. She says, I'm down. I'll grow them. I already have like most of the peppers selected. So I think it's a great idea, man, which I'll be living in Bundaberg. Bizzle, there is my dude. I'm going through a hard case of Bizzle withdrawal, dude. So we need to talk on the phone today, if that's possible. We need to put the powders in an urn with your ashes, right? You know what I was thinking about doing? When my dad died, my mom said he was cremated. She goes, you want some of his ashes? I'm like, no, he's dead. If you could walk in the room and have a conversation with him, be all about that. I don't need his ashes, Then I started thinking about it. There's got to be a company that can take a portion of someone's ashes and make a guitar pick out of it. And if I could get a guitar pick with some of my dad's ashes in it, like I've had this pick for over a year. You know how hard it is to keep a guitar pick for a year? This guitar pick is probably 50 cents. This guitar pick is $30 for this one pick. And it's worth it. It's an amazing guitar pick. The tone is different. It feels better. It's a better size. But if I could have one of those with my dad's ashes in it, I think that would be such a cool thing. I lost this once. And it was horrible because when I lost it, you get used to a pick and then another pick. It's like a different instrument. I found it when I moved. Thank God. It says my Wi-Fi calling is on. Good, because we need to talk. It's funny. I ate a pot and it's hot. A Reaper's hot, but I swear you put them in sauce, it's like 5 times hotter. I'm the opposite. To me, fresh pods hurt way more than anything that's in a sauce. Interesting. It's probably hard to find a speaker that goes to 11. This little amp goes to 11. It really doesn't, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put an 11 on there. I see you're having fun without you. We're not having any fun without you, dude. It's my favorite hot sauce. Boy, that's a can of worms. I don't know, man. I really don't. The song, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. If you can't have the sauce you love the sauce you got. So whatever sauce I have, for instance, this morning, Foy and I went out this morning. We went to a place here in Fort Mill and got this big breakfast. I never eat breakfast. And I only ate that breakfast so I could prep for the tube of terror that I ate. But they had, it was a big breakfast thing, but they had hot sauce. And the only hot sauce was Cholula. I put Cholula on my breakfast. And this morning, Cholula was my favorite hot sauce in the world. I mean that. It was so good. So whatever sauce I'm eating is really my favorite sauce in the moment. Do you see the oil in the last pick? Never saw it configured like it. Did I see the oil in the last pick? Let me see what you're talking about. Dizzy Dragon. Oh, the last pick. I thought there was just 2 picks. Oh, I've seen that before. I've seen that before lots of times. Isn't that cool? It does that. It's almost like it's bleeding little drops of capsaicin. I love it. Mark Balavos. Love Mark. Good to see you, dude. Hi, Johnny. I guess there really is a big difference between the jolokia and the chocolate primatale. Huge. I was watching a video. He ate 20 ghost peppers and barely felt it. 18 primatale. Yeah, 18 primatales are brutal, dude. It's just a hot pepper. I hope you're doing good, man. I was down at I Like It Hot Festival. We went to this. I met Mark. We went to a place, and I can't remember the name of that place. Do you remember the name of the place you went to, Mark? Did the chicken wing challenge? It was fun. I can't believe you carry your favorite sauce with you. I don't carry my favorite sauce with me. I know people who do, though. Flash doesn't leave home without it. There you go. If you can't be with the one you love, just settle. Listen, you have to remember the decade it was written, dude. That was a different time. I agree with you, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting message. No doubt about it. I do not have Discord. Flash, I'm sorry. Listen, you need to know something about me and technology. Fighting it tooth and nail. Half the world is running at technology as fast as they can. I'm running in the opposite direction. I wish I could dump my phone and just get rid of it, but I can't because I need it. It's a drag. Quarter steak and lube. Quaker steak and lube. That's where we were. Quaker steak and lube. I have the t-shirt still from that, Mark. Wasn't that fun? That was a good time. Has a few bottles that Flash keeps in the car, one in the bag, one in my toolbox at work. Oh, boy, that's how to do it. Body illusion. Sorry I'm late. Good to see you. You're not late. We've been waiting for you. You're just on time. I'm going to go for another 20 minutes or so, sir. You're good. Hot sauce is good stuff. I don't cook with peppers very often, but I put hot sauce on virtually everything. I have like 30 plants inside. I have to pick a few. We don't have room for them all. He grew some great peppers last year. I ate some chocolate reapers he grew that he sent me right after I had that little dehydration episode. Grumpy Gill, Johnny, do you ever accept fan-grown pods sent to you? It's funny. Email me, Grumpy Gill. Maybe we can work something out. Listen to what happened. I have in Tucson, I had a post office box. And, people send you stuff that you don't know about. It just shows up in your box. But before that, people would message me. I got something I want to send you. If it didn't sound something, I'm like, I'm all set. I'm kind of busy or whatever. Excuse me. Usually I'd be like, come on, go ahead and do it. So good job, Flash. It's a great trade-off. I kid you not. Anyway, somebody sent a bottle of sauce. Okay. It wasn't pepper. It was just sauce. And it had kind of a, when a sauce sits, it'll separate. When it separated, the different, it was very odd looking. It had a weird look to it. And I've seen a million sauces separate. You know what I mean? If they don't have xanthan gum, that's what you'll see a lot. All right. So this didn't have xanthan gum and it separated, but it had a weird look to it. And I opened the sauce. So I opened it. It didn't fizz everywhere, but there was something going on in the sauce. And I smelled it, and it had a very weird smell. And it had a weird enough smell. If I was a wealthy guy, I would have sent it off to a lab to have it tested to see what it was. Because I didn't review it. I just threw it out. But ever since then, I've been a little bit like, I don't know what was in that sauce. And I got a funny feeling something was in that sauce. So email me. We can probably work something out. I'm a little more guarded now than I was 8 years ago. Cholula was my very first hot sauce. It's Kristen Melinda. It's a good sauce. Kristen's a chili head. Anik is also a chili head. Anik, so good to see you. Rick Spicer, I should start growing. Thinking out loud here. Dizzy, I find it funny because the first Primatali was on live. He had the tolerance from an event. You went, oh wow, and the last pod was really hot. It was like the fourth pod you had. I think sometimes when you have it's crazy to almost review two peppers at the same time because the first pepper, no matter how, I'm good. I can tell if a second pepper is hotter than the first pepper. I can still taste the second, third, and fourth pepper, but a lot of people can't. But you do. you aren't getting a real sense of it if you multiple pods. If you eat one pod and the very next day you ate another pod, I think you'd have a better idea. Being honest. I had a Walmart gift card, so I ordered Buckeye 7-pot sauce. I've not tried it. Hi, Sable. Sable beat the. I'm not going to say anything. Sable got into a little bit of a scrape with her brother. It happens. Darcy, good to see you. Ever since I found your channel, I put regret hot sauce on everything and can't stop. It's a slippery slope, Darcy. Be careful. It's a very slippery slope. It's a good thing, though. You know what? Hot sauce and spicy stuff. You know what happens? Like here it is a weekend, and we're all coming together because of spicy stuff and hot sauce. So it's a good thing. I think it is. My brother lives out in the country and still refuses to get a smartphone. Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I could get rid of it. I wish I could get rid of it. I made her day. Well, I'm glad. Cell phones are a drag. They're a drag. The problem is they're like a necessary evil. I feel guilty because I can, first of all, it's an addiction. It is. It's an addiction. And it's like somebody who drinks for a living. Well, I have to be on. It's my job. And I feel like it's sort of a cop-out. I wish I could just drop it. I hate cell phones, To enjoy spicy, you have to be somewhat of a masochist. Huh. Guilty as charged. I'm a masochist. I admit it. Straight up. No shame. It is what it is. I don't like how my phone affects me as a person. Oh, I just hate it. Life was easier. Do you remember? Do you remember? You probably don't. I remember leaving my home as a kid. You just leave. You didn't have a phone. You didn't give a rip about it. You want to see if your kids, if it's an addiction? Promise you, try this little test. Take your cell phone away. Take your cell phone away from your kids. Take away their game box, their PlayStation, their whatever. Take away all of that and just say we're going to run an experiment. And about 2 hours into that experiment, they're going to start doing it. And they're going to start pacing and acting like a junkie. And I swear to you, if you keep it up, 4 or 5 hours in, they'll start throwing stuff. It'll get out of hand. I'm not joking. You think I'm fooling? Try it. It's a terrible thing. It's terrible. I hate them. I mean, it's just a necessary evil. I remember when my car used to be the only place that I had solitude. When cell phones came out, you know what I mean? It's like they get me at work, they get me at home, but that drive was pristine. Nobody could get me. And then they got me. She said, cell phones are real, but I would be all alone on the other side of the world without it. Here's the thing that's scary, Shelton. How scary would it be if the internet died? I was talking to Foy about that. We couldn't get from one place to another. Like when I was a kid, I knew 100 phone numbers. I knew how to get to, I didn't know addresses, but I knew how to get to 50 friends' house. Just, we're so, what's happened with the internet, this is just what happens, not just with the internet, it happens with technology. It dumbs us down and makes us stupid. And that's what happens. I set my phone down later. Good. That's awesome, Jeff. I've always liked spicy food, and he says to Rick, but still consider myself a novice. She's a chili head. I've never eaten a super hot pepper in real life, let alone never even seen one, let alone eaten one. She's a chili head. She is. It is sad. I saw a very funny video. You can Google this. This will make you laugh. David Lyons, good to see you. I'm good, thank you. I saw this video of these two kids. They're teenagers, I don't mean like 13, 14. I mean like 17, 18. All right. Two young men. And they're in a room and there's this box on top of a table. And their mom and dad it's a joke. They're pulling a prank on them. They say, all right, you have 10 minutes. Here's a phone number we want you to dial. And they lifted up the box and underneath it was an old rotary phone. I tell you what, I need to explain what rotary is, you are really young. A rotary phone is where you used to put your finger in it and you'd slide it and it would spin back, and it was numbers, 1 through, 0 through 1. You dial it. That's how you dial it. They said you have 10 minutes to dial this number. These two kids, watch the video. You'll laugh really hard. They couldn't dial the number. They couldn't do it. In 10 minutes, two men, call them men, couldn't figure out how to make a rotary phone work. Technology has dumbed us down. We'd be screwed if we didn't have it. It's terrifying. Anik's got the 8-inch habanero pepper in the garden. I saw your banana pepper. She sent me pictures. I eat 2 potato peanuts, but the hottest pot I've eaten is a jalapeno. But last one was wily. Listen, your tolerance will rise really, really quickly if you eat the tubes of terror. They really do work. Oh my God, Lisa, my grandparents had those rotary phones. Whew. Wow. Roscoe, hi, Emily. Thank you for sitting in and hanging out with me and your dad. You guys want to hear something funny? When you guys remember your first phone number, right? Everybody remembers their first phone number. Do you know my first phone number had 4 digits? Oh, I swear to God, it's true. 4 digits. 3681 was my phone number. 3681. Hilarious. So when you say your grandparents, yeah, that's me. Thoughts on Diablo sauce at Taco Bell, Jonathan King. It's the only place you can get gas in America for less than $5. Taco Bell. Boba Fett. I'm not a hot food eater, but like growing and making sauces using the Scotch bonds. Growing Hydro, Primatali, Chocolate, Dorset, Naga Morich. Sweet lineup. Gotta love that. What do I think about Bitcoin? Kepadas. You know what? Tommy and I know a dude who's made, if you knew how much money this dude made, you'd fall over. He had a ton of money. And when Bitcoin first came out, he just threw a lot of money at it, like 10 grand or something absurd. And he's now like a gajillionaire. I don't know. I think it's a volatile thing. It's like, you know what? It's kind of like a microcosm of the stock market in general, but a much more volatile. So if you catch it at the right time, you can still make a killing at it. For real, Darcy, 4 digits. I wouldn't lie to you. I know rotary. Rick Spicer's got it right. David Lyon says, staying sharp online requires regularly engaging in a challenging topic. Well, here's a problem. We don't know how to do that anymore. The internet, what happened is the internet, David, is an echo chamber. You know what I mean? Like this channel right now. You all love me. I love you. It's an echo chamber. I say something, you'll agree. If you say something, I'll agree. It's an echo chamber. What's happened is this. Back in the day, do you understand that back in the day, there used to be debate teams? There aren't even debate teams anymore because we've lost the ability to talk about anything important face to face. You can't even bring up certain things. Or they'll give you a race with an ism or at the end of it. It's the truth. So we've gotten to a point now where critical discussion and communication is gone. We've lost the ability to do that. People don't do it. How many times somebody said, well, I don't discuss religion or politics. Well, what do you talk about? Now, I understand not talking about it on a channel. Makes sense. But in real life, if you walk up to me, you want to talk about politics or religion, we'll have a wonderful conversation about it. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But the problem is we have lost our ability to disagree. Disagree now means I hate you. Just because I disagree with something you say doesn't mean I hate you, wish ill upon you. You can still eat with me. You can still sit at my table. We can still be friends. I just don't agree with you on certain things. But that's the problem. We can't do that anymore. We can't. You know what I mean? What happens is, you know where it started? Can I tell you where it started? I think this is where it started. Do we have any Seinfeld fans watching right now? Any Seinfeld fans? When was Seinfeld around? 20 years ago? I mean, a long time ago, right? Okay, it's been a long time. We got some Seinfeld fans. There was a Seinfeld episode, and I think this is where it started. There was a Seinfeld episode where Elaine was always looking for the right guy, right? Well, she found a guy who was like he moved furniture. He moved furniture. He was a furniture mover. And he was perfect. And this was the time where they were talking about abortion. They could talk about it, but not really talk about it. The pizza's not really a pizza when you put it in the oven. It's not a pizza until you take it out. So they danced all around it with analogies. But in this video, in that episode, Seinfeld, Jerry says to Elaine, well, he's the perfect man, but how does he feel about abortion? And she freaks out, right? She finds out that he does not believe in abortion. He believes in the sanctity of life. And you know what she did? She dumped him, never to speak to him again, because they had an opposing point of view. That's where it started, if you ask me. I don't ever remember a time where that was it. Dig your heels in. You don't believe what I believe? Well, screw you then. Cut you out of my life. That told everybody it's okay to do that. It's not okay to do that. I have people that vehemently disagree with me on some critical core issues. Still my friend. I don't know. How would you get on talking about this? What are you even talking? This is a Pepper Channel. What are we doing even? Jeez. I think there are a lot of people who get offended at some things because they choose. Oh, they do. That's exactly. We're in an age now, Audrey, where we get up and what can piss me off today? That's what happens. Jarrett here, speaking of piss people off, Jarrett Hickman. Do I think Pepper X is genetically modified? I think it doesn't exist. It's Bigfoot. Bigfoot. That's what it is. It's the Bigfoot of the pepper industry. The guy created a pepper 1 million hotter than anything that's ever been created, which is just horse manure. Immediately says it's never going to be released. We're never going to sell the seeds. And then he releases a sauce made with that pepper that he says himself is 2.4 million. And I have it tested at 2 different labs, and none of them are over 62,000, which is 2.7% as hot as he says it's going to. And you're asking me what I think of that pepper? I'm not dumping on you. Probably a harsh answer. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for the question, Jared. Not upset with you at all. I hope you don't feel like I'm giving you I'm not giving you a hard time at all. Hopefully I'm setting you straight. That pepper doesn't exist. It's nonsense. It's horse manure. Just connect the dots. How hot? Everybody that says it's hot, it wasn't. They're all actors. He releases the thing and then won't sell the seeds, won't sell the pepper after 5 years of telling people he's gonna. Then he makes a sauce with that pepper at 60,000. Connect the dots. And what you have is somebody that has a very wonky relationship with the truth, which is troubling because I'm a Christian and that man says he is as well. And we carry ourselves differently. And, it's troubling to me. Anyway, let's talk about something a little bit less. Here's the thing. If you bring up a subject like that, I'm going to talk about it. So let's talk about something else. Test Rempool. I agree. It's a hot one. And I don't harbor it. Everybody thinks that I hate the guys in that camp. Not at all. I just, I'm here as an advocate for the consumer. I'm not here to help companies sell sauce. I'm here to tell you what's good and what's not. I am the master of my domain, Shelton. Indeed. Levi, if it was that hot, people on the show that shall not be named would be dying on the last step. Listen, he won't let anybody no neutral person is ever going to eat that. It's okay. Have you noticed how they're not really talking about that pepper anymore? Do you notice how they kind of like, it's okay, let it die down. We made a big bunch of money. How much do you think they made in how much sauce do you think they sold at $30 a bottle? And how many people bought that sauce just because it was made with the hottest pepper and just because it was 2.4 million? How many? How many are happy with their purchase? You know what I smell? I smell a class action lawsuit. I'm not the guy that would start one, but boy, they ought to, because he fleeced people. That's all. I don't know how else you can describe it. It is what it is, people. And they, just so you know, God has that camp turned on me. It's hilarious. That camp has teamed up with all of the people that have hated me in the past, and they're supporting them now, sending them free product. It's hilarious. I think it's funny. Yeah, you know what? I actually like Chili Klaus, Rob. I met Chili Klaus 7 years ago. I don't really know him. I like him for what he's done. He's a legend for the things he's done. Listen, if nothing else, he got 300 musicians who don't eat peppers all agree to eat a Reaper. That in and of itself, he's a legend forever because of that. It is what it is. Boy, you know what, Rico? We'll do 1 hot minute this week. We're about ready to, we're already done at the 1 hour mark, so I'm going to get off in just a second. I'm not being bold. I'm just telling the truth, man. Hi, Josh. Dude, good to see you. I'm just telling the truth. That's it. And you know what's really funny? I'm going to go back. All those guys in that camp really do hate me. They're giving me the business, and they're basically hiring the trolls that have hate me, my brother, and my family, and they're supporting them now. It's the truth. They are. There are videos where they said if whatever they want, they got it free. That's what their videos. I'm going to end the video on this because this is beautiful. It's good to know, and this is a quote from Johnny Cash. It is good to know who hates you, and it's good to be hated by the right people. Do you realize if good, decent human beings hated me, what that would say about what kind of person I am? Wouldn't that be horrible? Like if good, stand-up people in the community hated me, that would speak volumes about who I am, right? Look who hates me. Look at the vermin who hates me. It's a beautiful thing. I love being hated by vermin. All right, guys, I'm done. I love you guys a lot. I'm going to end the video now. And make sure you live your life in such a way that trash hates you. That's a beautiful thing. I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this was Chase the Heat.